millionaire.
Only on Chaos Culture Radio you'll get this kind of information.
Facts.
There are more 401k millionaires than ever before. According to new data from Fidelity, there are now roughly 497,000 401k plan participants with balances of at least $1 million in their accounts. So, how can you set yourself up to be on the path to be a 401k millionaire yourself? Here with more, we've got some of those tips. Tracy Burns, who's the UBS financial advisor, joining us here. Tracy, great to see you again. So, I think first and foremost, people just want to know, okay, am I part of that number? And if not, how do I become part of it? What are some of the first steps that people can take to set themselves up to be a millionaire by the time they're ready to tap in that 401k?
Yeah, Brad, it's all about consistency. You know, it's much like when you diet Monday through Friday, and then on the weekend you have pizza and potato chips and you wonder why you're not losing weight. It's the same thing. Slow and steady wins the race. And I bet you those 497,000 people put money in, left it there, put it in the stock market, checked on it, and let it grow. And I think that's really important too. Don't just like set it and forget it. Make sure you revisit, you diversify, you rebalance if you have to. What was good when you started working 20 years ago might not still work today, Brad. So you have to get back to it as well and pay attention.
And so with that in mind, what are some of the common mistakes that you see people making, Tracy?
So that's it, right? We forget all about it. We don't increase. I'll tell you, one of the number one things people could do is when you get a raise, give your retirement plan a raise as well. Bump it just a little. Bump it in accordance. Set the percentage as a matter of fact to increase with your salary if you can. I would also say that one of the worst things and the hardest things is that people make withdrawals before retirement. And you can, right? It's your money. Try really hard not to. You can for first-time home buyer. You can for hardship. If it's possible not to touch that, leave it alone. And lastly, don't forget that match. If your company's offering you money, you better give till you get it because it's free money and it's yours and it will add to that million down the road someday.
What's a good investment rule of thumb for contributions to that 401k as well here?
It's really hard to say, right? If you live in Manhattan and you're just out of college, it's so hard to say, oh, by the way, you should put the max in because you can't make rent. So I get it. I say you just try really hard to pay yourself first. But I am cognizant of the fact that living expenses are tough in certain places. But ideally, you want to hit that annual number every year because don't forget, you don't pay tax on it until you retire. So it is a help. Paycheck to paycheck to not have to pay tax on a portion of your salary.
She said one thing that I like it. Hakeem mentioned this with our podcast. He said, slow and steady win the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Go ahead, Hakeem, man. What's your take on it?
We talk about this all the time. You're only going to hear this here. Rome wasn't built in a day. Like my brother just said, slow and steady wins the race. You can even just start with $20. There's the eighth wonder of the world is compound interest. $20 over a series of years invested into S&P 500. This is not financial advice. What more can I tell you? They just laid it out. Invest into your 401k. Get into stock options. If they some of this stuff is free, man. It's not going to hurt you. And some of the stuff, they take out your check for these things. You spend this stuff on eating at McDonald's or coffee every day. You got to think about your future, your health when you get older and you have all this money sitting, waiting, or just thinking about what you're going to leave behind. That's all I got to say.
Not only that, but she also made some great recommendations. She said, as your pay grade rises, you want to also increase the percentage on your 401k, which they do give you an option to do that in Fidelity. I had to do that. Every time I get a raise in my job, I increase my 401k percentage so I'll be able to put more in. That's a smart way to strategize so you can build up that pot. Now, and also she also made a great recommendation, like do not touch it. But she kind of understand that the time we living in today, times tend to be extremely hard, especially like she mentioned places like New York, Miami, LA, Texas, that, is sometimes, when I mean Texas, I mean like Houston, that, it can be sometimes very hard to afford. So people don't have money to put into their 401k because they're trying to meet rent. So like I always say, our problem is as an American, we don't know how to budget. If we could figure out a great budget system that we could be able to invest that extra money, go ahead and do so and build your future. Like I King stated, slow and steady wins the race. Don't try to be like the Joneses. Take your time and build your wealth. But that was some really, really good financial advice from Yahoo Finance. And shout out to them. That was really, really good. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people got question themselves. When's the perfect time to budget? The question is easy. Right now, do it right now. It starts right now. If you, like I said, do some research. If you need a financial advisor to help you out, how to get out with your debt, and start saving your money and also saving your 401k. There's help out there to you to achieve goals when it comes to saving money, especially if you have a 401k. I know, living in a big city is difficult, especially if you live by yourself and everything. So I believe financial advisors can help you with that. When it comes to like rent, spending money on cash, bills, all that type of things is important. But then again, slow and steady wins the race. If you live in smaller cities, when rent is kind of low, gas is not that much, it's just perfect for you. Especially you work for a company for 30 plus years. Make sure when they match you, that extra free money, is there for you. And he said it perfectly. If you get a raise, make sure you up your percentage for your 401k. It's very, very important and everything. And they said it too, and the guy said this, there's more millionaires there's more 401k millionaires than ever before. So that tells me if that's the case, there should be more and more you guys to save your money in 401k, and you could be a millionaire too in your 50s and 60s. But the thing is like you gotta learn how to budget, learn how to save. I know there's gonna be problems down the line. There might be bills come out of nowhere that you don't know of. I get all that and everything, but it's your job to make sure. Okay, maybe I gotta not go out to dinner, or maybe I gotta cancel cancel my TV, or cancel some other things that I don't need, and make sure I pay this off, and I can after I get done, continue saving for my 401k and everything. So budget, like I said, Ronnie says, budget is the key to if you have 401k to make you a successful millionaire. And they said it for you. What you need to do and everything. And right now, our economy is not that looking good, not looking good so well right now. But it's your job to make sure you budget well, so you have enough money to live below your means. If you save for a long time, slow and steady wins the race, you can become a millionaire. I believe people won't be millionaires so quickly at 20s and 30s. Some people ain't gonna be millionaires at 20s and 30s. Some people, I mean, if you really look at it, people started to be millionaires in their 40s and 50s. If you look at it, a lot. That's when people really be millionaires in 40s and 50s, not their
That is
20s
a
and
fact. Yep, that's a fact. Yep.
A lot of
Yep.
people
We
don't
look
know
at the
that.
number.
Look at the
They think it's
numbers.
young people. No, fact, Jordan.
Yep. Young people don't be millionaires like that. It's very rare. It's a very small little percentage. If you want to be a millionaire, if you look at the data, the statistics, you're more likely to become a millionaire in your 40s and 50s and your 20s and 30s. That's my take on that.
I don't know. You see Emperor's vibe. You see Emperor's vibe comment about and then like those description that you're not using. Like stuff that I'm saying, we as people have money everywhere. We have stuff on descriptions like on YouTube. Some people don't use YouTube, Disney, Netflix, Prime. If you're not using those,
You see what I
don't just
said?
put it. Yeah, it's a council
Why?
Sunday.
If you can afford it, don't cancel it. I'm not saying
Yeah.
don't cancel it. If you can afford it, go ahead. I'm
No,
with
but
you.
high point is football than your longevity though.
True.
And who is this person here? This is a new person. Go ahead, I can't. You gotta like that person. I don't even know how to say that person's name. What
Ta-
is
ta-
TJ?
ta-
Taja, is it
Tasia
Tasia?
Taja?
or Taji?
Nice to meet you, Taji. Great seeing you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to the channel. I never
Thank you for
seen her
coming.
before. Which side she's on? Jordan's side? She on your side? She
No,
gotta be on
she's on
your
your
side.
side.
She's on your
Ronnie.
side.
Wow. Well, thank you for coming. But go
She
ahead,
said,
you can read her comment.
she said, Taji said, no taxes on overtime. You could save those extra dollars and live off your salary. Soon have a good chunk of money. Hey, you're right. We're gonna touch on that, Taji.
Hakeem, why you smiling for? Because you
I'm
looking at
as
her picture.
I'm as she is bad though. She is bad. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. Like, pretty girls make dark-skinned men smile.
Look at Jordan. So, but shout out to her for coming through and showing and giving out some gems. I would say people like when we do the financial segment because people want to know how can they build their money, how can they grow. Of course, we're not like earn your leisures, but at the same time, we have a little bit of caveat. We'll just go ahead and give y'all something so y'all can to try to build y'all wealth. Because we on this panel, we are trying to build our wealth for the future. Because I want to be able to be on somebody's beach. You understand, Hakeem? With my
Basically.
lovely wife and my kids, be at somebody's beach and say, "Leave me alone." So that's a good life to live. But yeah, guys, it's so very important. Remember, a lot of us have extra money, but we putting it in the wrong places. Let's put it somewhere that we could build your wealth. And not only that, but this is also very important for women because women tend to live longer than men, and women are at the workforce. Find out if your employers are giving out 401k because some women don't even know about it. Find out if your employers are giving out 401k so they can match it. So when your husband passed and go into his next life, you don't have to be struggling figuring out, okay, what I'm gonna do next because you're broke. Because women tend to live longer than men. That's just
And
a statistical fact. Go ahead,
and I
Jordan.
want to say this,
Listen,
Ronnie. Usually when you join in, usually you automatically have a fidelity count. Or if you usually fidelity something like that, people don't
Yes.
know. Like once you like, I think if you do your 90-day grace period or anything like that, you automatically have a 401k account. But but like I said, but it's up to you. Put a percentage on there. So I'm gonna let you guys know. Usually companies after you do your 90-day probation, you automatically get a 401k. But it's your job to put the percentage on how much money you want to put in an account.
Yeah. Oh, Emperor's Vibe. We're gonna talk about that. What Trump is trying to implement and one of his policy, which I do love about that. But a lot of people think he's lying. But I do love that as well. We're gonna talk about that. We might come back to your comment because that's exactly what he's promoting. Trump, that is. And oh yeah, why high? Shout out to you too. That's also helped too. Life insurance helped too a lot. That also helped a lot. Narrating dialogue. What's going on, my brother?
what's good,
Great to
brother?
see you.
Salute,
I saw you
brethren.
on Aston Channel the other day, man. I see you, man.